Well, those of you who have been waiting for LA's football team can breathe a celebratory sigh of relief. After more than 2 decades, the St. Louis Rams will be moving back to Los Angeles. Rams owner Stan Kroenke announced that the franchise will be building a shiny new $3 billion stadium in Inglewood. Now, Jose, both Carson and Inglewood were possible sites for the new stadium. However, when the announcement came out, it was said that they're going to break ground on this stadium in Inglewood.
Yeah. I mean, the Inglewood plan was pretty much baked. It's private property. The owner is the same owner than the team. For him, it was really easy to fast track with the local authorities to have the permits necessary to just move in, because that was one of the parts that the NFL owners really care about, was the fact to move this franchise as quick as possible and start what they see, they really see as the future of NFL fan experience. This stadium is going to be one of the most expensive stadiums ever built, $2 billion, I believe, and it's going to have a completely different experience than the one the NFL fans are used to. But I think it's a very important question of what is going to be the impact for the community. I wonder how many Inglewood residents can fork $130, $150 every Sunday to see their team play.
Well, Kroenke was actually really smart about how he went about getting the stadium approved. So normally in California, when a new development project launches, there's a process of approvals, environmental documents have to be filed. But instead, what he did was he launched a signature campaign to get the issue on the ballot. And then with that issue now on the ballot, he was able to go ahead and allow Inglewood City Council to just approve it versus going to voters and having to file additional paperwork to get it through, which was one of the reasons why the Carson deal was sort of nixed off the table, because that was going to be a big holdup for them.
I mean, this is the second biggest city in the country. It was important for the NFL to have a team in Los Angeles, but also for Los Angeles, it's very important to have this. It's not the only new team in town. The Los Angeles Football Club, one of the latest additions to the MLS, is also breaking ground this year on their stadium that is going to be an exposition park. So we see that Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, the mayor is pushing for all of these major sports venues to be built because he has the Olympics on site in the future. They want to host the Olympics of 2024. So this, lines up to the plan of the city to become again the host of the Olympics.
Well, and back to your point about what impact does this have on the city of Inglewood? The Forum was the home to the Lakers and the Kings up until 1999. And even then, some people were still criticizing the fact that the Forum and those major franchises still didn't bring any income to the city of Inglewood.
Yeah, in case of the LAFC stadium, I'm not aware about the case in the Rams stadium. There are quotas of local workers that need to be hired for these projects to be, especially construction projects. They need to fill a quota, agree with the district, agree with the city to create jobs in the city that they're moving. I think that's very positive, but these are temporary jobs in the building of the stadium that are going to be beneficial to the local economy. But moving forward, what type of gentrification this might bring to Inglewood, I think that's a question that everybody should be intelligent about and should be looking at the issue very carefully.
We actually have a clip that sort of explains what happens when the expectation that a major football stadium like the one that the Rams will be building will boost the economy, but we have a clip that shows that might not always be the case.
A major review of almost 20 years of studies showed economists could find no substantial evidence that stadiums had increased jobs, incomes, or tax revenues.
So even with all of this that's surrounding it, there's still a lot of outcry from residents of Inglewood. There's a really great op-ed that ran in the Los Angeles Times from an Inglewood resident named Erin Aubry Kaplan, and she wrote that the bitter irony of gentrification, one of many, is that the good, safe, thriving community that the original residents always wanted seems to materialize once they've left.
Yes.
And now the Los Angeles Metro, with this football stadium being approved, is going to be putting a stop in Inglewood, making it more accessible. This new stadium that's costing $3 billion is going to not only include just the stadium, but it's going to include a larger entertainment complex around, which is going to be a huge draw, but at what cost to the local businesses?
It's definitely a very important issue. In many cases, they do not bring the benefits that they promise, but also it's important to note that this is a fully private enterprise. This is not receiving tax breaks from the government. This is not receiving funding or grants from the government. This is a group of individuals that have the money and have the means to do so. So in that case, I think the expectations to bring back to Los Angeles are higher because the city is not investing in the team. I think that's also why the NFL took so long to come back to Los Angeles is because Los Angeles really felt like they didn't need the NFL as much as the NFL needed Los Angeles. And now we see that there were 3 different teams that wanted to move. The Rams were the winners, but at the same time, we need to make sure that they keep the city entertained, that they make the city proud, that they're a winning team. Otherwise, we're going to see a beautiful, big stadium, and it's going to be empty because Angelinos, they know their sports.
They are fickle about their sports. Well, the Los Angeles Rams, they will be coming to Inglewood, to a stadium, $3 billion. What will be the impacts and the larger social implications for the city of Inglewood? Only time will tell.